This is the A10 Ultra mopping robot, which promises a lot of features. Does it live up to the promise? Let's find out more. When Boolean Cloud, the company that makes the A10 Ultra, reached out to me, and a quick side note here, I was told that they soon will rename the company from Boolean Cloud to Cozio. So this robot will soon become the Cozio A10 Ultra. So when they reach out to me and ask if I'm interested in a collaboration, to be honest, I hadn't heard of the company before then. So I took a look at the product page of the robot, and I was pretty impressed. On paper, at least, it showed a lot of potential and had a lot of features. So yes, this review is sponsored by Boolean Cloud. However, they did not see any script, nor tell me what to say or what not to say. This remains a review, so I will try to remain as objective and unbiased as I can, sharing my objective assessment of the A10 Ultra as I tested it out. And before I tell you more about the tests and the results of these tests, let me share a little bit more about the features, which, as I said, were quite impressive, especially at this price point. And I want to start with the mopping part before the vacuum part because I thought that was quite interesting. This has dual rotating mopping pads, one of which does extend to the side for edge cleaning, and we'll see the results later in the cleaning tests. But what is interesting is the way the A10 Ultra wets the mopping pad. So typically with spinning mopping robots, it's either that there's no onboard water tank on the robot itself, and the robot relies on the docking station to clean and wet the mops, which I'm not a big fan of because after some time the mopping pads will dry out and you do have to rely on the robot going back to the base to get them wet again. The other and better way of wetting the mopping pads is to have an onboard water tank with tubes running to the mopping pad, and then it's either gravity fed or there's a small electronic pump that distributes water to the mopping pads, continuously wetting them as the robot cleans the floors. The A10 Ultra has a different approach from both. They actually have 4 water nozzles on the back, and they call that pre-spray stain removal, and they spray water directly on the floor, and they say it helps with tougher stains as the water is being sprayed directly on the floor rather than on the mopping pads. And that was quite interesting to see, and I did do some cleaning tests and we'll see the results or how effective that was later on in the review. The mopping pads can also lift up by 10 millimeters, so when carpet is detected, the mops will lift up so it doesn't get them wet. And there's also, of course, carpet boost. The vacuum kicks into higher power when carpet is detected. The side brush also extends to get better edge cleaning or corner cleaning. On the vacuum side, they claim that it has 25,000 pascals of suction power. Now, personally, I always take those ratings with a grain of salt for 2 reasons. The first reason is, and this stands for any company, these are self-proclaimed ratings, so they can be accurate or not. But more importantly, because suction power is just one of many factors that contribute to better performance, and it's not the only factor. And I've seen vacuums with lower rated suction power actually perform better than others with higher suction power. So personally, I do take the suction power with a grain of salt. But at least on paper, 25,000 pascals is quite impressive and higher than a lot of robots in this price range. The brush roll is anti-tangle. It also lowers down, so when it's on carpet, it has a tighter seal, helping with performance and better extraction. But again, another interesting thing over here is that the brush roll and the casing are fully detachable. So you can actually remove the brush roll, rinse it under running water, but also the chassis below it is also removable and also rinsable under running water. And this is not something you typically see with other robot vacuums. For navigation, the robot uses AI obstacle avoidance, and there's structured light plus an AI camera. And again, we'll test those later in review. It has a very slim profile of just 10 centimeters, which is quite impressive, especially that the LiDAR tower is not retractable. This will help it get below beds and couches and furniture much easier. It can climb thresholds up to 23 millimeters, which is not the greatest out there, but decent enough. It also has a built-in spotlight for night cleaning. And the base station is a multifunction base station, and it cleans the mopping pads with hot water and dries them with hot air. It also has an auto solution dispensing tank, which I absolutely love. So this tank over here, you fill it with cleaning solution and the robot is automatically going to dispense the right amount of cleaning solution to water as it is cleaning. Another interesting thing is that the dirty tank has a deodorizer. So if you typically don't empty the dirty water tank after each run, which I guess many of us do, myself included. With time, the dirty tank does develop bad odors, and this is where this comes in handy. It has this little chamber over here in which you can put this deodorizer, but also the pipe is a right angled pipe, and they say this also helps with odor prevention. So all that is impressive on paper, but how does it actually perform in real life? Well, let's find out. My first test is the stain test. This is dried out coffee and ketchup. I set the robot to clean the area twice and did set the water level on high because these are generally tough stains to get out. And as you can see, it got the coffee out from the first run, which was quite impressive, but I was more interested to see how it performs on the ketchup stain. Ketchup stains are quite difficult to remove. Most robot vacuums struggle to remove them. Even wet and dry vacuums, which are far more powerful, do take a lot of runs over that stain to get that out. And here I was very surprised to see from the first run, it got most of that stain out, which was quite impressive, and which leads me to believe that that pre-spray stain removal feature that sprays water directly on the floor actually works. There was a little bit of ketchup left when the robot finished the session and went back to the base, so I did send it out a second time, and the second time around, it got 100% of that ketchup stain out, which again was pretty impressive. I would have loved if it had a stain detect feature, using that camera to detect stains and then go back to mop the stains again. I've seen some robots having that feature, but up until now I have not tested a single robot that actually performs well in detecting that stain and going back to mop it again. The A10 Ultra, as with others, does have a similar feature. This is a remop feature that you can enable in the app. But the way it works is when it goes back to the docking station and as it is cleaning the mopping pads, if it detects that they are still dirty, it's going to go back out and clean again. In practice, I did not find that to work as intended. But again, in most of the robots that I've tested, it was similar behavior. But regardless, as I said, I was very impressed with the mopping capabilities and how the robot tackled these tough stains and got them out entirely. Next up, I wanted to test the edge cleaning capabilities. As I said, the right mopping pad does extend out to clean close to the edge. So again, I poured some coffee close to the edge. And again, I was pleasantly surprised to see it got super close to the edge, almost 100% close. As you can see, there's no visible coffee on the edge, which again was quite impressive. After those tests, this is what the mopping pads look like. So as you can see, quite dirty. So the robot goes back to the base, cleans the mopping pads, and this is what the mopping pads looked like after the cleaning session. Again, great performance. I think the base station did a very good job at cleaning the mopping pads. Before we move on, if you liked the video so far, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel, as this would really support the channel. On the vacuum side, I was a little bit less impressed with the performance despite the claimed 25,000 pascals of suction power. While it did fairly well on hardwood floors, I did do a test on the carpet where I sprinkled some rice to see how much of that rice it picks up. And as you can see, it did struggle a bit to pick up the rice from the carpet, and some of those rice grains were stuck on the brush roll and were not sucked into the chamber. However, where it did perform quite well was the anti-hair tangle. So I put some strands of hair on the floor and had the robot go over them. Now, if you look at the brush roll right away, you see there are still some tangled hair, but the trick here is to let the robot run for some time. As it continues running and the brush roll continues rotating, at the end of that cleaning session, there will be no tangled hair on the brush roll, as you can see, completely 100% tangle free. I repeated that test on the carpet, and I actually pushed the hair fibers down on the carpet. And as you can see, it got most of the hair out of the carpet, but not 100%. There was a couple of blue strands of hair that it did not pick up, but despite that, again, it was tangle free. As you can see, there's no hair stuck on the brush roll. Some hair does bundle up on the two extremities of the brush roll, but those are very easy to remove. As you can see, just twist the end and remove the bundled hair. In terms of navigation, I was also curious to test out how the structured light and AI camera performed. So I set an obstacle course with a cable, a sock, and poo to simulate pet poop. And here again, I was pleasantly surprised that it avoided all three objects 100%, which is not what I typically see with robots in this price range. Of course, higher end and flagship robots with AI obstacle recognition do a great job at avoiding them, and even a better job. But it's not really fair to compare apples and oranges with much more expensive robots. So compared to robots in its category, it did an excellent job at avoiding all three objects. However, I did notice it was a bit too cautious. So once the obstacles were detected, stayed quite far away from those obstacles to avoid getting tangled or stuck. So while that is great, But it does come at the expense of some missed spots to clean, as it doesn't get very close to these obstacles. Now, if I was to choose between not getting too close to obstacles and therefore missing some cleaning around them, or getting stuck on obstacles, I definitely choose the former. I'd rather miss some spots around obstacles than actually have the robot eat a sock, or even worse, spread pet poop around the house. Though another wish list over here, it would have been nice if it gave us the option in the app to choose how close or careful we want the robot to be, which would give us the option to either prefer safety and keep a safe distance from obstacles, or a more aggressive approach whereby we want the maximum cleaning closeness while accepting the risk that it may get tangled on the obstacles. But all in all, again, I was very impressed with the navigation. I did send it out to clean my house multiple times while purposely leaving it messy with socks and cables lying around, and not once did it get stuck on anything or eat up a sock or a cable, which was quite impressive. That's it for my review of the A10 Ultra. I will put a link in the description to the product page so you see the price at the moment you're watching this. As I am recording this video, they did have a promotion running, which in my opinion is a steal and a great bang for your buck and a great value for money, considering how feature rich this machine is and how well it performed, notably in mopping. Now, of course, it's not a perfect machine. It could be better on the vacuuming aspect, but also, in my opinion, the app and the software could use some fine tuning. They weren't as refined as other main players in the field. It did get confused sometimes while navigating, freezing for several seconds or just turning around itself until it figures out what to do next. It was never an issue because it always figured out what to do next. It was just interesting to see then that sometimes the navigation algorithm seemed a bit confused. I did also notice some small software quirks. For example, the AI photos. For some reason, I never saw actual photos in the app, although this was enabled. The carpet first function, although it was enabled, it also did not seem to vacuum carpets first. But all these are software issues and easily can get better with time as they release updates to the application, but also potentially to the firmware as well, which they have been doing. In the couple of days I've been testing this, there was 3 firmware updates with improvements every single time. So I do expect this to get better and better with time. And in theory, they could also address some of the pitfalls that I mentioned earlier. That's it for me. Again, links will be in the description. Make sure to check them out to see the price at the moment you're watching this. These could be affiliate links as well. So if you do decide to purchase this machine, I would appreciate if you would go through these links. I may earn a small commission and absolutely no extra cost to you, but this will greatly help support the channel. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this encourages me to continue producing content. Until next time, cheers.